Hi, if you're a TI user and you've never actually understood the difference between problems and pages, and so you've never used it effectively, then you must watch this video. So here's our home screen. I'm just going to go and insert a new document. I'll say, no, I want a calculator page. I'm going to say calculator page. When I say that, I see 1.1. The first one refers to problem 1. The second one refers to page 1. Okay, so this is a calculator page of problem number 1. In order to insert a new page, there are several ways to do it. The shortcut is just pressing Control and Dock. And it'll give you that menu, and you can add a graph page this time if you want to. Okay, so I'll add a graph page, and there you can see 1.2. So 1.1 was problem 1, page 1, a calculator page. 1.2 is problem 1, page 2, this time a graph page. In the same way, you can enter one more page, go to Control Dock and insert this time maybe a list and spreadsheet page. And so this is page 3, which is a list and spreadsheet page under the same problem 1. Now, if you want to insert a new problem, you will go to Dock, Insert, Problem. Okay, so when you hit that, you will get that same list that you saw, and let's insert a calculator page again. So you see 2.1, that's problem number 2, page number 1. Let's go maneuver to our first, and by the way, you can use the left and right, control left and right key. So control right key will go to the next page, and control right key again will go to the following page. So if you hit control left, you can go to the previous page. Okay, that way you can maneuver to the different pages that you're adding and the different problems that you're adding. I'm using the software, so I'm just using the arrow from here, but if you're using the handheld, you can hit control arrow, the left or the right, to maneuver between the different pages. So here 2.1 is problem 1, page 1. This is a calculator page. Likewise, let's insert another page under problem 2. So I go and hit Control Dock, and this time let's insert a graph page, and this is 2.2, problem 2, page 2. You might be wondering, what's this big deal about problem and page? Keep watching. So I'm going to go to problem 1, page 1, which is my calculator page. Okay, I'm going to define a function f of x using the assign key, that's control and the key to the right hand side of 9, colon equal to. I'm going to define this function as, let's just say, a simple square function. And so if I hit enter, it must say done. So this has now been recorded into the memory of the calculator that f of x is x squared. So if I enter f, you can see it became bold. That means the calculator is recognizing that f refers to x squared. So when I have to find the value of 0.1, f of 0.1, I just have to say f of 0.1, and when I hit enter, it will evaluate that for me. Okay, because the calculator is recognizing f as x squared, has been stored in the memory of the calculator for that problem. Now, what's the cool part of this is if I go to 1.2, which is a graph page, but under the same problem, when I hit F, can you see it became bold? That means the calculator is recognizing that F refers to x squared, so that when I go here and I just say f of x and I hit enter, it will give me the graph of x squared. F of x is equal to x squared, y is equal to x squared. Now notice this cool thing. I go to this calculator page. I use my top arrow key. Remember in the previous video we saw you can use the top arrow key and bring back an expression. So I can bring it back, and if I just edit that expression and just make it, well, let's keep it x squared, and just edit that expression to, let's say, minus 3 times x to the power of, let's say, 4. Okay, some strange thing. I just changed that expression, brought it back with the f. Okay, again it'll say done. And so f of x has been updated. Now, when I go to the graph page, notice the graph has changed already. You know what has happened? That means these two pages, 1.1, 1.2, under the same problem are linked dynamically. It's a unique feature of the TI technology. So what you do on page 1 also is linked directly, dynamically with page 2 under the same problem. However, watch when I go to problem number 2. I go to problem number 2, and here when I hit F, notice that F does not become bold. That means the calculator recognizes F as something else on problem number 1 and F as something else as problem number 2. So I can use the same letter, f of x, to define a new function. I go to control, the key to the right hand side of 9, the assign colon, and there this time I can enter a rational function. I can say that is x over, let's say 2x minus 1. That's a new function. Hit enter, and that function has been defined here. And here when I say f of 0.1, I get a new value because this is a new function. Now, why is this such a cool thing to have problems and pages, and why it is important that students must use this feature? It's because of this. At the time of the exam, when you are working out a different problem, you know what? You can insert a new problem. I'll show that again. You can go to document, number 4, insert a new problem. You do this for each question. Each question, try and insert a new problem. So that at the end of the exam, when you're done with your exam, when you're checking your work, you must also check your calculations. So what happens is that it's all organized. Problem number 1, you can insert 2-3 different graph pages if you want to. So if I have, when I was on problem number 2 and I had a graph page here, I wanted to graph that here. So this, if I say just f of x, and there you go, you've got the graph of f of x. And so what happens is that at the time of the exam, every problem, every working, every calculation, whether it's a graph or any other calculation that you've been doing, you can actually check your work as it is. This is a really neat thing to have the different pages under the same problem being dynamically linked. What you do in a certain page is also linked. You can define something on the calculator page, you can do something on the graph page, on the listen spreadsheet page, and they're all dynamically linked. So if you've not already been using problems and pages, I strongly recommend that you start using it. And if you've already been using, let me know in the comments below how you've been using problems and pages. In the next video, we're going to talk about the calculator page. See you there.